Don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not gonna ask you to pull out your wallet. I just have a very exciting and also relaxing offer for you. Tingles with flyby. Daily ASMR videos. Hello, is Mrs. there? Wonderful. Don't worry, I'm not selling you anything. Oh, I know most telemarketers just always want your time for, trying to get you to pull out your wallet. It's not what I'm about at all. My name is Gabriella, and I am calling you for a very special purpose today. Now, don't worry, this isn't not that there's anything wrong with religions and that sort of thing, but I'm not trying to get you to change religion or anything like that, unless you think relaxation is a religion. But I kid. So, what my purpose in calling you today is to offer you an experience that is very unique and that cannot be had anywhere else. You have been specially selected due to the, shall we say, circumstances of your life. You have been nominated by one of your friends or family members. And let me check. Okay, they do wish to remain anonymous. The only thing I can let you know is that the person who has nominated you does have a personal experience with this location. So you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Do you have a few minutes where I might just be able to explain what I'm able to offer to you? Yeah? Okay, wonderful. So, as I said, my name is Gabriella, and I come from a wonderful land called Tingledom. And it is an official nation that you've probably never heard of, and we like to keep it that way. So, prefer if you don't go blabbing all around about us, except to those who really, really need our help. We are based around a concept called ASMR. Have you ever heard of that? It stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And a lot of people may get this feeling from using a soft spoken voice or hearing somebody whisper. You'll notice my tone has been very specific on this call, and that's intentional to both put this into a soothing and relaxing state, and potentially, if you are able to experience ASMR in this particular setting, that may make that more likely. We do a lot of things in Tingledom to enhance and to be sure that we'll be able to make sure you can experience that. Here, away from Tingledom, it's a bit more hit and miss about who will experience the tingles, as we call them. So you may or may not have ever experienced them, but in Tingledom, everybody experiences them. We have our ways, but I'm not here to go into that today. So what we have to offer you is a free trip to Tingledom. And there's no sort of marketing associated, no sales pitch that you have to sit through. I mean, there's lots of sales pitches in Tingledom, but very little buying going on. Lots of people actually find it relaxing to hear about all the features of wonderful items. So if that's something that floats your boat, that's something you can do. But if it's something you don't like at all, there's lots of other things to explore in Tingledom. So generally there is a cost for going to Tingledom. Just normal, booking your flights and that sort of thing. We try and do what we can to help people, but obviously we have to sustain ourselves in some way. But once you actually get to Tingledom, there's no real concept of money or anything like that. It's more just about making sure you get there. And there's certain things if you want to take back. For example, we do have car dealerships, but not right in the heart of Tingledom. So if you wanted to have a car purchased and that sort of thing, that would obviously be an additional expense. That's not the sort of thing that we can supply. But we do completely cover all of your lodging. So while you're there, you'll have a few different options on where you can stay. There is the main town, and then there's actually a lot of other places on the island as well. If you really want to get away from it and experience some very unique places, there are a lot of options. So, and we always ask at the end of people's trips to Tingledom, or before they've gone when they're booking, if they have anybody in their life who really needs something a bit extra. And for this particular person, when we asked them, they immediately thought of you. And so they gave us your number and explained your situation and everything that you've been going through lately. And so that's something. So we get a lot of requests and we can't field them all, but yours was one we couldn't pass up. We really wanted to do this for you. It's all to do with this mysterious referral. They're the person to really thank. I'm just the person on the other end of the phone. Yeah. So, you are interested? Wonderful. As I said, I'm not gonna ask for any credit card details or anything like that. This is all completely paid for by us. As I said, there are very few items that you even have to pay pay for while you're in Tingledom. You can go your whole trip without having to pay anything. You can go to the theater, you can go everywhere, and yeah, it all works really wonderfully. We have people who come out into the world, so we actually know, what's going on with the world, but we have the hardest time because I've been doing this on the phone with calling people for quite a while. I've picked up on a lot of the things that I guess are a little bit more normal, but it still takes forever to even figure out what's going on. Credit card, debit card, checks. I still don't quite understand the difference. Truly. No, we have travel agents. They figure it out a bit better, I think. But I can book this for you because there's no charge. I don't have to worry about any payment. So, yeah. So, we usually begin with a week-long trip. If after the week it hasn't been sufficient rest and relaxation, then we can kind of look to add a bit more. Yeah. So I know this is all pretty new, so I'm not going to try and overwhelm you with everything you can do in Tingledom. But what I'd like to do is kind of give you a rough itinerary of what you can do. Okay? Yeah. Also, just be warned, in order to go to Tingledom, you do have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. That's also why I can't go into a lot of details, because we can't give you all of the details until you've actually signed that non-disclosure agreement. So, we will have a lawyer get in contact with you. Obviously, that's all completely at our cost. So, yeah, don't worry about that. So, but usually what we like to do on the first night is figure out your tingle profile. That's right in the heart of Tingledom proper, which is the name of the town there. So what I'd like to do is basically, I think on your first visit, it's good to go into the town. That way you can really just walk around and explore, find what really looks good to you. And then on your next visit to Tingledom, you're always going to need another one. Hands down. Everybody wants to come back. So, when you then come back to Tingledom, you have an idea of what you might want to explore a bit more. So, I recommend, I think we should put you at least 3 to 4 days in town. Now, we have a few different types of lodging. You can stay in, I think you guys call it like an Airbnb. Does that mean something to you? Okay, good. Something like an Airbnb. So we have kind of apartments that you can go into, which are just above the shops. It's always really fun because, especially if you get an apartment right above a cafe, you can just walk down in your jammies and get a nice coffee or a nice hot cocoa whenever you want. So yummy. Yeah. Missing home a little bit right now, but that's okay. Getting to interact with lovely people such as yourself makes it all worth it. So we have that sort of lodging, bit larger, has its own kitchen if you like to do cooking. If you don't want to cook at all, you want to have more access to, well, we have a B&B, we have Tingledom Inn, which has very unique rooms. I love the garden room. I'm in love with that. There's also, am I allowed to say that? No. Anyway, there's a really cool room at Tingledom Inn. You can't know about it until you've signed your non-disclosure agreement, though. So, and we also have a floating inn. So the floating inn, yeah, if you've ever heard of a sensory deprivation tank or a float tank, it's basically a hotel where you can just stay in one all night long. And there's some pretty cool things that go along with that. And then, I mean, we have all sorts of options, but do any of those be interested in the floating inn? Okay. So would you like to stay there for all 4 nights while you're in Tingledom proper? Okay. 4 nights at the floating inn. And the nice thing about it's more of a hotel setup, so it's got 7 floors, and it does have room service, and yeah, you know, bellhops and all that to get you helped out. Yeah. So that is wonderful. Now, the other options you have for your last 3 days. We could stay, obviously, still in Tingledom at one of the other places I mentioned. If you want to just stay with the floating inns, there's also another floating inn down on the lake. There's a lake just south of Tingledom proper. It's a really large lake, and there's actually a whole floating town on there. Anyway, but they're on the floating town. There's a floating inn. That's actually the original one. So you could go there, or you can go up in the mountains. There's natural hot springs. You can stay near Tingledom Spa. Well, it's completely up to you. It just depends on what you want. We also have a forest area, which I can't tell you a lot about, but it's really cool. You want to go to the forest? Okay. Would you rather stay in the trees or in a cabin? There's a big difference between these, but I can't tell you what it is. If it was me, I would stay in the trees. Yeah? Okay. So, the forest east of Tingledom. Always have to work my way around to make sure I don't give information away. 3 days. Okay, and then it's just a matter of determining when you're available to take your trip. We do have a service if you do need help chatting to your boss or a coworker, or if you need help getting your kids looked after. We do take care of all of these sort of things. Yes, okay. Then leave that with me. I'll take care of that, and then I'll just email you once we've got a confirmed date that's all okay with all parties involved. Okay? Yes, and then once we've got that, then the lawyer will be in contact so you can get your non-disclosure agreement, so you can get even more details about what's going to happen on your trip to Tingledom. Well, I'm really glad that answered the phone, and I'm so glad that you didn't hang up on me. And probably you're a little glad as well. Yeah. So, again, my name is Gabriella. Feel free to call back the number on your caller ID and just ask for me,